Yoshiteru Yokoso YouTube, and welcome to the losers bracket match number 5. Today it's AdmiralPrice leading the Mori forces against, oh my god, Scotty Roar, or Leegarden3, who's leading the Hojo forces. They are fighting on the Numazawa map, and ladies and gentlemen, it is a night, foggy, winter battle. This is pretty much the worst type of weather settings you can possibly think of from a player's and a commentator's perspective, and trust me when I say that. But for the viewer, it provides, I think, a very interesting new edge and a very interesting new perspective, because players make mistakes, players freak out, and that basically creates chaos, which is, you know, the whole point of this whole thing. But anyway, you can see very foggy indeed. Imagine playing in these situations. It is very difficult. You can't even see your banners of the troops, you know? You go like that, you can't see the banners. So let me go ahead and actually pause here to avoid any further confusion. You can see the banners keep on disappearing on me. But you can see now, this is a very important point here. If you're playing over here like this, you know, and you're trying to focus on your opponent, who's like flanking you and stuff, you turn around here, you can't see your troops, you can't select them properly. You have to pan your camera over here and then select them again, which can be confusing, so you need to keep track of your units at all times. But anyway, let's get right into the battle. You got 2 units of Yari Cav and a Great Guard. This Yari Cav has 2 experienced chevrons. They are hidden in the trees. This is the Mori troop, the Mori forces, by the way, led by AdmiralPrice. AdmiralPrice then has a lot of Nadachi Samurai here, 3, 4, 5 units of Nadachi Samurai with a lot of experienced chevrons on them. This tactic, I've seen it been used a lot here, the classical Nadachi charge, and in the fog, a rush army is not really that surprising. 2 units of Yari Yashigaru here, supported by 2 more, so 4 Yari Yashigaru and another Warrior Nun, and it seems that everybody is trying out these new Warrior Nuns units. They're absolutely fantastic. I really like them in Avatar Conquest. I don't know how effective they can be here without retainer support though. The Mori Motonari general has been brought into this fight today by AdmiralPrice, and he does have another unit of light cav in support there. He actually has 2 units of light cav. No, just 1 unit of light cav. No, 2 units of light cav. I was right. And then he has 2 units of cav here, a Great Guard and a Yari cav, and that is all we can see from his army. That is his all army. And now off to the other side of the battlefield, where we can hope to see the other players' forces. Hojo Ujiyasu today has been brought by Leegarden, and there's the rest of his troops here. Let's go ahead and pause so we can catch most of them. So far we see 3 units of Nadachi Samurai, 3 units of Yari Yashigaru, so looking like a very similar build, and we can see 1 unit here of Katana Cavalry, 3 experienced chevrons that have been positioned on the far left flank. Let's see what sort of damage and plans Leegarden has for these guys. It looks like they are going for the Sword Dojo. Now this is a key buildings battle. The randomizer got the key buildings for our opponent, for our commentators today. You can see now light cavalry being engaged to pursue and destroy this Katana Cav. Light Cav will actually have some good success against Katana Cav if they charge in and pull back out. Let's go back ahead here, and we're looking at red army. Okay, here the Hojo forces have now been in complete. You can see them completely. You can see both players pretty much bringing the same exact army. 4 units of Yari Yashigaru, 6 units of Nadachi Samurai, 5 units of Yari Yashigaru for the Hojo. So the Hojo has chosen less experience, more numbers, and you can see that we don't really have any Warrior Nuns. You can see beautiful effect here. I mean, the fog is really pretty, but it's also really confusing at the same time. So now, seeing that the Katana Cav was pushed forward, looks like now this light Cav is I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know why red player, who is AdmiralPrice, isn't really pursuing this Katana Cav. It looks like the Katana Cav is actually going to turn around and hit this light Cav unit. That is just fantastic. They're going to slash, and look at this. They're dismounting to take the charge better. I mean, that could be a smart idea, but he dismounted at the wrong time. He dismounted at the wrong time, and you can see here now that his light cav is actually on foot. They might have a little bit more success. I would have definitely tried to swing around with the cav, keep them mounted, and sent the rest of your cav there for support. And you can see that. And now the light cav is still actually losing the fight against that Katana Cav. So again, excellent play here by the Hojo player, taking that light cav completely off guard. that unit of that Mori Motonari general is now just going far away. These Yari Eshigaru being left here to just capture the building. Katana Cav can't do any threat really to them, and now more Cav units here. 2 units of heavily upgraded Great Guard coming out of the hiding here. Looks like they were in these trees indeed. And let's go back here to the Mori forces. Now if the Mori player is doing stuff here, again, you can't see what's happening on that side of the battlefield. He needs to run there quickly with his camera, and then when you see 2 units of Great Guard like that just spontaneously appear, that is daunting. And trust me when I say it's very daunting. And the fog experience is something completely different. It becomes a game of nerves. It becomes a game of who can keep their cool. Of course, obviously the player skills and the better player will come out on top, or the way, most of the time at least. But you can see here that this could be a very confusing situation, and it can definitely take your game off, and you'd just be sitting there surprised, and you'd be actually surprised at how you actually freeze when you're playing. And I think if you guys all remember the first battle that Reflex CSS played against Pointman, played in a way that wasn't him. And it's because of that. It's because of this nerve game that continuously goes on. And in weather situations like this, it becomes more difficult. And you can see now more Yari Cav appearing on this flank. So again, the Mori player being put under a lot of pressure here. And he is pushing all his spear units away from his Nodachis who are hidden in the trees. So you can see now Hojo taking advantage, going directly for the backline. This could be deadly here. This could be deadly. 2 units of Great Guard running forward. Looks like now they see that there is other Great Guard and other Yari Cav facing them, but they could have gone there and tore that shit up. As you can see that there's only really 1 spear unit in that vicinity and a bunch of sword troops. Hojo just staying back, doing all the damage with the cavalry. So it looks like Leegarden is going to be playing a little bit more aggressively here with his cav as opposed to his regular unit. You can see he pulls off a quick charge against the backside. They start Eshigaru, bringing them down to 119 men. Now the general Motonari coming in with the cav, and looks like he is trying to seek out a cavalry engagement. Leegarden here knows that he doesn't want to stay in. He's going to pull back, realign his men, keep them there for that daunting support. Hojo lanterns again through the fog, not really moving. You can see that they're just sitting there stationary. And you can see one of them though was moving there. There is some motion indeed. Looks like they are trying to start to move here. Now it seems that he's just relining them up. Back here towards the cavalry action, you can see now that the Hojo cavalry is being engaged by Yari cavalry here. 2 units of 1 Yari Cav, 1 Great Guard engaging here, and you can see that this engagement is something that the Mori player is probably going to lose. In comes Yari Eshigaru support, but Hojo is going to pull out of there really quickly. But looks like some of the units are going to get caught, and I think this was the purpose, to use less Cav to bait the better Cav, but I think his spears were far away. They weren't close enough. He probably should have pushed his spears forward quicker and then hit with the cavalry. Hojo there running away and still maintaining a lot of his cav pretty much. He did lose a good number of men on the flank units there, but he still has the majority of his troops left, and now the Mori cav is completely out of the picture. So now let's see how Mori plays. Mori has now captured the sword dojo. Hojo capturing the stamina building, the farmhouse, which means that his units are now going to be able to... No, this is the workshop actually. Wow, so now he has more armor. I think armor is that important in this battle, since we don't really have any sort of skirmishing units at all. Both players going for complete rush armies. And I mean, you'd expect in the fog that players would bring more infantry units, but then again, if you bring skirmish units into the fog like matchlocks and bows that have flaming arrows, you can also add to that free heat effect, make your opponent a little bit off balance there. You can see now Yari Eshigaru here just maintaining the sword dojo, making sure that they have that at all times, because they already have the skill advantage. They are hidden, so at this point I don't know if Hojo or Leegarden has actually seen the experienced chevrons on Mori's infantry, but we'll stick around and see what happens here. Let's keep an eye out on the minimap, which is more of the action is going to be happening on the minimap. I'm going to use that as a guide here. You can see a unit of Yari Cav being pushed up here. Looks like they're indeed trying to capture Motonari. And you can see the Yari Eshigaru now staying very close to their general. One of them going into spear wall formation here on the flank. And let's see what this Yari Cav unit is going to do. It's still circling around. It looks like it is going for the main body. See, excellent play here by Leegarden. He's going to go ahead and put them in the trees. And I think he is trying to scout out his opponent's force. And you can see now Mori Motonari being used as bait to bait this Yari Cav. And the Yari Cav is going to fake it and continue pushing forward. And it looks like this is exactly what he's doing with it. He is scouting. He wants to know what sort of troops his opponent has, and at this point he should have visual on these Nadachi Samurai. And you can see now the warrior nuns being activated here. They're going to run forward, try to fend off that Yari Cav. I don't know, and all at the same time you can see that Hojo is moving his troops here back into these trees, hiding his units. You can see now that Yari Cav going far away. I think they did their job, just trying to make sure where the opponent was at. And you can see here again, it seems that Mori's a lot in disarray here. Very indecisive fighting so far. The cavalry engagement was almost forced from both the Mori side and the Hojo side. It looked like the Hojo didn't want to attack; he just wanted to have his units there as a daunting presence. And it looked like the Mori didn't have the sufficient support. But Hojo walks out of that because of the fact that he has more cavalry units in the vicinity. So let's go ahead and fast forward here. You can see keep an eye out on that Yari Cav unit here that's going to charge here. I don't know if he's trying. He's definitely trying to get around Motonari somehow, but you've got a lot of spear units here. A lot of spear units. Two of them completely almost full. One of them sort of depleted, but a lot of men still. Now at this point, I don't know why Hojo doesn't go for a full-on cavalry attack in the trees here. He knows that there are only sword units. He should know that since the cavalry of Red is gone, he could definitely pull something miraculous here. If he commits to a charge, runs around these guys, commits to a charge against this Nadachi Samurai, he can pretty much secure the battle for Hojo today. Leegarden, that is. So let's keep fast forwarding here. Again, looks like the engagement is going to be happening here. Hojo now he's not going to be crossing any river anytime soon, which is a smart idea. He doesn't want to get bottlenecked. He wants to use those Nadachi Samurai and make a front so that his banzai is as effective as can be. You can see now that he's moving his troops towards these Yari Ashigaru. He knows that if he can hit the Yari Ashigaru soon enough, his cavalry will be able to win him the fight. So now he's in a very good position, Hojo. If Mori doesn't respond, Mori should now be thinking of either pulling back or bringing the rest of his troops in. He is bringing the warrior nun forward actually here. It's quite surprising. I thought I'd be seeing the Nadachis moving up, but at this point I would have definitely moved all my forces out here. There are no more Hojo forces across this little lake. And if Hojo engages this little Yari Ashigaru line here, Cav will be hammering and anviling. These infantry will be helpless to the massive Cav superiority that is now in the position of Leegarden. So AdmiralPrice playing very defensively here, and you can see that he is trying again to save his general. He's very worried about his general, wants to keep his general alive, and looks like Hojo actually might be doing that Cav charge that we all talked about. He saw that warrior nun moving out of there, and look at this. Look at this, he's going to charge the back of this Yari Ashigaru. They're going to turn towards you. I think this is a chance to slow them down. He's going to charge another one right head on. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Why are you doing this to yourself? You can see Hojo now just charging blatantly right into Yari Ashigaru. He either didn't see them or that was just he just lost a unit there unnecessarily at all. I think he was trying to open up a space to go for Motonari, but he ended up losing one of his Yari Cav units. His Great Guard unit also going down to 38 men. So big micro mistake there. He needs as many Cav as he can get, and you can see that he's got 2 here. I think that's all the units he has. Now he could have still more in the trees, and now you can see some Mori movement. Again, Mori still not nudging at all, leaving his infantry in these trees. I don't know what the plan is. I definitely don't know what the plan is, but you can see here that he's positioned Motonari at this hill, and you can see some cavalry here going around the flank through the trees. And now, even if you're here, again, you can't spot that, you know? You cannot see that happening. So this cav could just pop out here, station right behind you, and you wouldn't really see them. So Fog, again, you need to play very carefully. You either take the initiative and put your opponent on the back foot, or you play defensively and keep your eyes super open, look at the minimap, multitask, all that good stuff. You can see more Hojo Cav now being positioned here. So we've got Hojo Cav in this vicinity and Hojo Cav in that vicinity, hitting, getting ready to hit the right side. And finally now, Mori player pushing his infantry forward. Looks like there's going to be a main engagement here. The Warrior Nuns getting ready to take the attack. Now these guys can do a lot of damage against Nodachi Samurai. They will absolutely, if you let one of our other units absorb the Banzai charge and hit them from the side, from these Warrior Nuns, or even hit them from the front, the Warrior Nuns are going to do a lot of damage since they do have a staggering attack of 20. And you can see now Hojo running his cavalry up the hill, but Mori leaves his Yari Yashigaru behind his line. Excellent move here. He saw that the Hojo cavalry has pretty much moved towards the back, and now AdmiralPrice responding and putting his spears towards the back to make sure that he is not going to be charged. And you can see that he's matching the Hojo cavalry movements excellently here. So it looks like the fog isn't really affecting his play, and especially after the cav mistakes he done earlier there, it's like he is more confident. You can see Mori Motonari now being placed at the front, and there's going to be an Odachi charge against a spear wall formation of Yari Shigaru here. In comes the other unit. You can see Hojo cavalry stationary to this point. A lot of Mori infantry still stationary. These guys should be being pushed forward now. And now more Banzai being activated, and you can see rally going on. This unit of Nodachi Samurai is going to be met by another Nodachi Sword. 2 Banzai charges here on the flank. And you can see that the Mori infantry having success in places and losing in others. Hojo cavalry now going in action. AdmiralPrice must be freaking out in terms of micro now, clicking. You can see that he has placed his general here, and he is going to go into stand and fight mode within his spears. You can see now more Banzai going on, more units running forward. Now that experience of those Nodachi Samurai acting up, and you can see here that these units are starting to get tired because they're just getting absolutely swarmed by so many Mori numbers, but they're still doing it. And you can see here a charge right at the Mori general by the Great Guard, spears going away, allowing the Great Guard to charge into Mori Motonari. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. So far, AdmiralPrice has been playing excellently on the front. His general must not die. If his general dies, I think his whole army will rout instantly here. You can see, oh, look at this! Look at this Mori Cav! Oh my god, I'm so excited. Look at this Mori Cav coming out of nowhere, hitting the backline of the Hojo Cav. I don't even know where these guys were at. Look at that Great Garden Yari Cav coming out of absolutely nowhere. Mori Motonari has indeed been killed, but that hammer and anvil now going directly at Hojo Ijuyasu. What an absolute maniac battle this has turned out to be. Mori Cav now coming in from the back, cleaning up the infantry of the Hojo forces, and look, this is just absolutely fantastic. These guys came out of nowhere. Where were they? What? How did he? I don't even know. I don't even know what happened there, guys. I don't even know where they came from. Mori pulling out a victory out of what looked to be certain defeat with excellent timing, anti-cav hammer and anvil charge into the Hojo backlines. That was by far, in my opinion, the best match we have seen in GDCT here, guys. Hard luck to Yo-Yo 007, 008, and very, very well played by AdmiralPrice. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.